I don't know if this is working or not. So, you know what? Let me see if I can record it with computer. Okay, maybe that'll work. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us today for our joint team meeting. I'm always super excited to see each and every one of you, and it's also even a greater joy to work with each and every one of you in this space. We want to officially start our meeting. If somebody wants to call the meeting to order, to move the motion rather, I'm sorry.
I'll move to bring the meeting to order.
This is cool. I second.
Thank you so much. So we have officially called our meeting to order at 7:12. We are going to break out into, first of all, let's see who, Tonda, you're with education. Keisha, which team are you on? Thank you for joining us again, because you were with us last month.
Actually, I was just invited by one of my sorority sisters. So I was like, let me just pop on.
Okay, so you didn't come last month?
No,
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you. So which team are you joining? Or who invited you? Let's start with that.
Gloria Allen Smith.
Okay, Miss Gloria. So she's recruiting you for our political action team. And Miss Patricia, you're with our political action team. And then Lexi and Drew are with communications. So this is what we're gonna do. Let's all stay here for, is that okay with you all? Let's stay here for the political action, because one thing I have asked of our entire branch is that we all engage because of the political atmosphere that we're in. So we're gonna go around the room and give an update and report for actionable items within your individual teams, okay? And then we'll close with the political action update. But when you all give the report, since you didn't do the breakout rooms, just we have up to about 5 minutes. So just give us a very thorough overview of from your team report and any events that are coming up. How can we support what you're doing, and any volunteer opportunities? And as you all listen, even if you're not a part of that team that's reporting, you all know of many people in the community. So please make note of these call to actions, that as you engage within the community, whether that's with your students or family members, church members, that you can share with them that these are various areas that the DFW Metro NAACP is in need of. We count on word of mouth, again, because we're not meeting. Oh, and another thing, we need to talk about, I'm gonna see how we can do a poll, or we may just discuss it. It was suggested that our May meeting be in person. We do have a space that has been offered for us. I don't know how you all feel about that, or do you all want to remain virtual for now? It's up to you all.
I would personally like to remain virtual, just because, I mean, I just, you never know what's going on in life. I mean, it was crazy. I was like, today, I was working on my agenda for tonight and my electricity went out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do y'all have storms in Dallas?
No, well, they were expecting some, but I don't even think it was to do with that. It just went out. And so, my electricity was out for like 2 hours. I don't know. You know how it is. It's just always different stuff going on. And
any other comments on
I could go to, I mean, I could, but I would just prefer to keep it virtual, just because, and my work is weird. Like, I never get my regular work. Like, I had right when the power went out, I get an email, can you do this work? And so, I never know what's going to happen. So,
okay,
that's just
anybody else? Anybody else have any comments pertaining to virtual or in person?
I personally don't. It doesn't bother me either way. as long as it's, like the same time or later enough to allow people to get and then, get to the meeting. But
Okay.
I can go either way.
Okay. Anybody else?
I
Yes,
prefer
agree.
virtual.
Okay, virtual. And I think I prefer virtual, and the mindset I have is that we are about to have activation, community activations. And so that will be time for people to get out as they choose to participate in that space where we'll get to know one another. One thing our political action team is going to be doing is activating voter registrations hubs. So we'll do voter registration and membership at those spaces. And so that'll be time for us to connect in person. Drew, can you drop the information for our next joint team meeting for June in the chat?
I'm not sure, would that be, I'm not.
It should be the
oh,
first Monday in June.
Okay, sure.
It should be the first Monday in June.
Yeah, okay.
So let's go ahead and remain virtual at this time, seems though. And then also, is it anybody on the call that is interested in the DC trip? Thank you, Drew. Okay, so if anybody changed their mind about it, if anybody is, I hate it when I apologize when people contact me during a meeting because I can't get a link while I'm in the meeting. I don't, it's a little challenging to do. Drew or Lexi, if one of you have the link, can somebody text it to me? To my cell phone. Somebody's trying to log in and I can't, it's no way that I can get to the link from my phone right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our reports so we can go ahead and make sure that we wrap up in a timely manner. Hello tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. You're with the education team, right?
Yes, ma'am. Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And because we have we don't have a large crowd tonight, what we're going to do is stay in our group setting. And basically, we're going to do our group reports and they're going to announce different areas of need and activation. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. And then I am going to grab for anybody that's not in our group me chats. While they're giving reports, I'm going to grab all of the group me chat links. Please make sure you connect with the group me that you are interested in connecting. And you can connect with more than one if you have interest in more than one committee or team within our branch, because we do share all of our information there. We do communicate stuff there. So that's going to be the number one. And then of course, Facebook as well. And opt in for the newsletter. Okay. So let's go ahead. If you all can, let's go ahead and start giving those reports so we can wrap up on time. And I'm going to grab the information that I need for the chat.
I can give mine if you let me share screen again.
You should have.
Oh, okay. Can you see that? Okay, so
Yes.
a big comment I had was Crystal gave me the ability to be a moderator on Facebook. The main reason I thought that was good was deleting old posts, so that people don't go on there and they see something, they might get excited about it, but it's something that's already gone. And I think it just cleans up the Facebook site. Lexi and I are both trying to attract and retain volunteers. A problem we have is volunteers will say they're going to do a project and they don't, and it's just a problem. So we're talking about, we just talked about this in the executive meeting, that we will possibly go out to the high schools and the colleges and try to recruit some people that, are going to stick with it. And of course, the next thing is always to do the newsletter and we have been increasing some posts on the Facebook site, but we would like to, get a person that's kind of dedicated to the social media. So they could do the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Those can be tied together. And also the statistics on how effective those are can be reported in say our general meetings. And that would give us an idea of how many people we're influencing and how many people we're outreaching to. I think that would be great. I mean, the newsletter reaches out to people who are already members, but the social media would be helpful maybe in retaining, attracting more members. So that's kind of what we're aiming at this point. Any questions?
I do. I have a question. How many
Yeah.
posts did you delete from the Facebook page?
I would say maybe three posts, events that have gone by, 3 or 4 max.
Okay, so I apologize, Drew, but I am going to ask that you do not delete any post. The reason being, number one, sometimes when I am trying to go back and find information that I know I posted, maybe for verbiage that it took me 20 minutes to gather my thoughts about, I may go grab language from there. Also, if somebody joins our Facebook page and they want to know, are we active? Because there's a continuous complaint with some branches, people complain across the nation that our NAACP branches are not doing this, that, and the other. So even though it passed, that's just like on our personal page, I got stuff that I may, sometimes I do a post if I'm in a city, like somebody suggests a restaurant in Austin or in New Orleans. And that last time I went might have been 2017, but I can always go to my page and search where that conversation took place and I can get to it easily. But again, also in the space of nonprofit and organizations, there's always a conversation of impact. What is your impact? What are you doing in the community? So leaving that documentation of things that we have done and that we are doing. Some people scroll through our page to see what we're actively doing. What have we done? So I think everybody at this point knows how social media works, and your most recent activity is going to be what you see first. They all understand as you scroll down the page, you're scrolling into areas because it's dated that has passed. So I am personally going to ask, because I thought when I gave you all permissions to moderator positions, I thought I stated that, so I apologize. I've asked that anybody that is on as a moderator, I asked them not to accept or delete anybody from the page, because unfortunately, Facebook hasn't found a way. I'm not going to say they haven't found a way. They're not doing a good job of vetting the site, the profiles. So sometimes you have trolls, so I take out time and I thoroughly vet any profile that requests. And then not only that, I have a generic, and again, this goes back to our conversation in our executive team meeting. In virtual space, you have to do things intentionally and different. And when I go in and accept a friend, somebody to join our Facebook page, I literally go in and I have a message that I inbox them. And some of you all on the page may have gotten that message. I invite them to our website, where they can find information about opting in for newsletters, because I explained in that little verbiage that for you to know when our meetings take place, it'll be important that you can, because the thing is, if I just go through there and accept a whole bunch of people, they just get lost in numbers and they never know how and when we meet and how to stay connected. So I use that opportunity to explain to them, this is how you find out when we meet and get the links, is that you connect, opt in for communication so you receive the newsletter. So we'll talk about that outside of here, but I'm asking that we do not delete anything from the Facebook page. I do understand why you thought that would be great, but I think it would probably be better not to, okay? But you all are doing an amazing job. And again, I always brag on Drew and the hard work that she puts in with that newsletter. Did everybody get their newsletter? If you didn't, you should check your spam folder, because it's there with some good information. Thank you, Drew and Lexi, for all the great work you two are doing.
The only
Is
thing
there
I would
anything-
add to what you said, I agree with everything you said, but sometimes people pin something to the top of a page that gets old. So then you just need to unpin it, not delete it, but unpin it.
Hmm.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you for that, Patricia. And I'll go on there because I do pin things on there. So there may be something pinned to the top that's outdated that I just need to unpin, but I definitely don't want to delete it because I go back and use that verbiage and I research for things often than you all would think. Okay, the next team, thank you so much for that report, Joe. You did a wonderful job.
So it's Monica. I can go for economic opportunities. So I had, I guess, really three themes on the agenda. So first, kind of tying into the conversation we just had about making sure that we have enough time to advertise events. So we do have this event for financial literacy for entrepreneurs that Kendall Marshall has agreed to be our presenter. So Kendall's been super busy with tax season, so we're trying to pin down the date for him. But I do think actually planning it 3 months will likely work well for his schedule and then also for us to be able to advertise. So the reason that we're planning, for those who weren't on the exec and leadership team call, we're planning, things out a couple of months ahead of time to give us enough time to advertise, enough times to do a couple of rounds in the monthly newsletter, right? So if the newsletter only goes out once a month, then we at least need 2 rounds of that. So we're looking at 3 months to kind of give us 3 rounds for that. So we have a target of August. I need to pin down some dates with Kendall. So given what you just shared about him, I'll do my best to get that locked in. And then we have our communication and advertising plan, which we ran before with our financial literacy series that we kicked off last year. We also will make sure, this is really focused, on entrepreneurs, people who have entrepreneurial dreams, right? Small business owners. So we will make sure that you have, just something quick that you can share from your phone. If you go into your favorite local, coffee shop, your favorite little small restaurant in your areas, that you can encourage them to come, and we will help with, their financial literacy and their financial acumen in running their business. And the second thing that I had was just on our radar for North Texas Giving Day. So we did agree that the Economic Opportunity Team would manage our participation in North Texas Giving Day. We did it last year. President Bates found out about it kind of last minute, and somehow we ended up getting like over $3,000, right? I mean, with just a little bit of advertising that we were able to do as a branch. So now we know well ahead of time. So same thing, we can sign up beginning June 7th, but the event itself is not until September 22nd. So the Economic Opportunity Team will take the lead on 1, getting us registered, but 2, also putting that communication and advertising plan. So all of us will have from June through September to be able to advertise in our personal and social networks to ask people to donate to us and our nonprofit endeavors through North Texas Giving Day. So we'll be leading that work as well. So we'll be able to share more next month after we get ourselves registered.
Okay, so I have a question. On this North Texas Giving Day, are you going to do a flyer, or do you want the communications team to do a flyer for, like, say, a Facebook post?
Yeah, if the communications team could do a flyer, that would be great. So as I mentioned, we will register in June. The registration is not open yet until June 7th. Yeah. But I can send you, we did it last year, right? So I can send you a little blurb about it, send you the link or whatever. We can go ahead and just start thinking about that, because we'll want to advertise this June, July, August, and we'll have, half of September, because it's only one day. It's a giving day. So we'll have 3 months to actually advertise this.
Because the communications team, one of the things I didn't really cover is that we are trying to extend stuff we have from DFW Metro NAACP to other websites and stuff. So we did get one article that we had in the newsletter on the Flower Mound Area Democrats website. And we also, it just went up on the Denton County Democrats website. So if we get a flyer together, I will try, and the communications team will try and get them to also put that flyer up.
That's great.
And so
That just extends
probably,
their exposure, you know.
what I'll probably do, Monica, because there's limited access to that platform, and I don't know how much you've, I don't know how it's set up this year, but I know last year there is a marketing packet, and in the
Mhm.
marketing packet, the flyers are actually already there.
Oh,
And so all we have to do is just add our personal information for our organization on there. So everything is really pretty much already there. So I'll probably need to commit to getting us a final, because last year I think I grabbed the banner, I went in Canva, I doctored it up just a little bit, and we used that in the newsletter. I think we also had it on a Facebook, on our website as well. Linda, who is part of our education team via the hackathon group, she has volunteered to start working on our new website. And so we'll make sure, because I know last year I had a whole page that was devoted specifically to North Texas Giving. But the important thing that Monica mentioned is the fact that we're getting an early start. And within the North Texas Giving platform, they have timelines of things they want us to do. They have opportunities for us. And you have to let me know when those opportunities are, Monica. You can sign us up and I'll make sure to put it on my calendar, because they do have opportunities where we can go out in the community. But again, since I started so late last year, like literally I submitted our application the day of, and they immediately declined us, and I had to go back and forth to try to get through. So the applications are not open until the 7th of June.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Okay.
Registration is June 2nd.
Right. So let me know about those opportunities to get out in the community at those events, myself or whoever is available, to make sure we do that, because going out in the community tabling is always the for sure way to get connections. So thank you.
Okay.
Wonderful job. I appreciate all of that hard work. Awesome. Anybody else have any comments or questions for our Madam Treasurer, Miss Monica? Now I'm gonna tell y'all now it's May, and next month is gonna be June, and then it's gonna be July. So y'all get used to stumbling over Miss Miller now, because we have another name we're gonna have to get used to. We'll be addressing her as Madam Underwood. Is it Underwood?
Underwood, yeah.
Did you know that's where I was gonna go, Monica? I'm so excited for her. And if you all can go, she probably has it where you can't see it, but if you all go spying and look on her social media, she took these amazing wedding pictures. I had to go, I said, Monica. Y'all, when I tell you Hollywood, Vogue, I mean, all of that, she did it. It was beautiful. So congratulations again. But you all get used to Miller for a brief moment, and then we'll be addressing her as Madam Treasurer Underwood, okay? Because there are wedding bells in the air. We're super excited for her. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
So if y'all have any questions about any of this, I've already told her that we're not bothering her come June and July. So please get your questions and comments to her before the end of the month. And I know we all need her for this, that, and the other, but I do not want us summoning her for anything for June and July, okay? Awesome. Anybody else have any comments? So Monica, with that being said, me and you need to talk this week from a financial standpoint, because
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I need to talk to you anyway, just about making sure that I classify our North Texas Giving Day. I know we had to do some specific stuff last year, and all the conversation that ensued. So if I need to do any work with Texas or whatever, I can start that now. I just don't, I don't know how that all went last year. So
I know we'll need to get with Rhonda, Dr. LaBert, forgive me, Miss Dr. LaBert, and with Matthew, because that actually falls up under the education team. And so there needs to be, something needs to be sent to the nationals, because that was where they never responded. They still haven't responded from our request from last year. So since we do have leadership in our education space now, I want to make sure they initiate that communication. So the four of us need to have some conversation. So thank you for that reminder. Okay, Dr. Levert, you want to go ahead and give the update from our education team?
Okay, I prepared an agenda.
Okay. Dr.
If
Levert, you're
that's
muted. I'm sorry.
okay. I'm sorry.
Hi
I
there.
prepared an agenda because I thought we would have the hour to present. So can I share my screen?
Oh, yes. Hang on one second. Let's see. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You can.
Okay, it's still saying host disabled. Okay.
Okay,
here we
check
go.
now. You should be able to now.
Yes, I'm working on it. What is this? Okay. Very quickly, the main initiatives that we have for the education team, and it's not in order, but I'll start with the hackathon that was mentioned by Reverend Bates. This is our STEM-related problem-solving program that we're planning to hold either October or November of this year. I don't think that a date has been finalized yet. We have several interns that are working with us and did a wonderful presentation at our general meeting in April. And they're well on their way in getting this organized. But basically what we need from the group is to help find some sponsors. I think Reverend Bates asked that each of us find at least 3 different companies that can serve as sponsors to help pay for food and pay for the venue if we need to pay anything extra. Also help pay for the company that's sponsoring this, the iCode, people who will bring in all the equipment and run the actual hackathon. And the interns have given us several ways to raise money for this event and advertise. So we'll follow their lead. Let's see, the other things that we're working on with the education committee, then the main thing is trying to find people who can attend the various school district board meetings so that we'll know what's going on in each school district. Right now, Mr. Morris, who is the other co-leader of the group, he's attending the Louisville ISD board meeting as we speak. So in this way, we find out what's going on as far as academic performance, new policies, new educational initiatives that are going on in the district. Also, whether there's any disciplinary matters going on that we need to be aware of. What's going on as far as hiring minorities in administrative positions or teaching positions. And so we need to have someone in each of the school districts that are covered by DFW Metro. And so Louisville ISD, Grapevine, Colleyville ISD, Capel ISD, Carrollton Farmers Branch, Little Elm. Well, actually, I don't know if we have Little Elm, but they may be joining our unit. So we're still in need of volunteers in those school districts to attend the meetings, which are usually like every month. They may go on for, at least for Louisville ISD, it may go on for 2 or 3 hours, but it provides a lot of information about what's going on in the school district. And then we talked about the hackathon. As far as, now I know Ms. Frazier has joined us today, and she had mentioned that she wanted her daughter to be involved. I don't know if that's still the case, but we can certainly use her participation in volunteering with the various committees. Certainly with the education committee, we'll need volunteers to help run the hackathon as far as, feeding people, directing traffic during the hackathon event. And then also another way that she could be involved is to maybe provide our Black History moments at the general meetings. So that would be a way to start until we are ready to recruit more youth into our unit. Right now, we're still trying to, we're trying to recruit more members to help run these various programs. But, that's something that Ms. Frazier's daughter could participate in. Some of these other things that I had listed on the agenda are not priority right now, so I won't mention them. But, eventually we will bring those up. Another thing that's going on is that Westside Baptist Church is partnering with us to do a back to school drive. I think that Jackie Shaw, who runs that, is planning to hold that on the 29th of July, I think she mentioned. And so hopefully we'll get more information about what all is needed as far as the various school supplies that will help kids be prepared to go back to school. So those are the main things that Education Committee is addressing. Any other comments, Crystal?
Good job. Good job. Thank you so much, Dr. LaBerge. I appreciate you and Mr. Morrison and all the work that you two are doing. It was something I was going to ask. The interns, you all, they finished what is today? Today is the 2nd. So maybe the 26th is when they had to have those reports turned in. And so did I send an email? Did you and Linda have connection?
I have not been in touch with Ms. Dixie Sack.
But you have her information?
Only what's in the group chat, that would be the only that I would be able to.
But this is why I was gonna say, because ask her, because the team should have did a video report. So make sure she gets access to that and shares that with you and Matthew. That's what I wanted to mention.
Okay.
And then also in the group chat, can you get with Lexi and Drew to make sure we start making a calendar event within the education team group for the CAP meetings? We've been supportive of CAP, as CAP has been supportive of us since we started. And so I know some others might want to tune in for that CAP meeting, and I definitely want others to be. I was attending those meetings. I always have another meeting going on simultaneously. And so the last few months, by the time I finish, you all have been finished with CAP. So if you could start sharing the link and creating a event within the education team group me chat so others can be supportive of CAP's meetings. And I think that's all that I was going to mention, but great job.
Where do you want me to post this information, or do you want me to just send it to you?
No, in the group me chat so others from our education team can be supportive of the CAP meetings.
Okay, so share the link and the dates of the CAP meeting. Okay.
If you could get that information to Drew and Lexi, you should have their information, or either in the leadership team. Can you all exchange information in the chat privately with one another so they can create an actual event in the group me chat, sharing the link and time and date for the CAP meetings. Okay.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any comments or questions for our education team? Wonderful job, Dr. LeVert.
Yeah, I was going to mention excellent suggestions about recruiting high school students. So the community service hours have been reinstated in terms of that requirement across, multiple charters and ISDs. So it's another motivation for my daughter to want to participate. I'm not gonna lie. So, but I think on an ongoing basis, I mean, it sounds good to do the Black History moments, but I think because of the other activities she does have going on, it'd be better if she could participate in the planning and running of an event, maybe, or just the event itself. And I am definitely interested in the hackathon. I also work for Dallas College, and I'm a new member at Westside, so Westside Baptist in Louisville. So we have what's called a mobile training unit at Dallas College. The School of MIT is the school that I actually work for directly. And so that may be I don't know what venue you're going to have the hackathon at, but the MTU, which is basically a semi trailer, and the trailer is outfitted with basically a computer lab on one side, and then an open space on the other side. And it has internet. It's basically a big hotspot, if you will. So I think it'd be great to have that as part of the hackathon, no matter where the venue is going to be. So, and whenever you're going to have those meetings, just let me know. Also, because I am a member of Westside, I can maybe help with that too. I don't know.
Okay, that'll be great. How old is your daughter? What grade is she in?
She is, how old are you? She's 14. I was gonna ask. She's 14 and she's a ninth grader.
Okay, are you all in Louisville or Little Elm?
We used to be in Louisville. We just moved, so now we're in North Dallas. Between, it's weird because we're right between Carrollton and Plano.
Okay, so does she have any other plans for the summer?
She usually, we're originally from Seattle, so she usually spends some time back home for about a month.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put my number in the chat. If you want to drop her off at my office over in Las Colinas, we will get her hours. We have various things within our branch she can do, but I have a team of interns that are working with my personal organization, which everything that I do privately aligns with what we do at DFW Metro. So she'll be able to work alongside them and do stuff for our DFW Metro NAACP and get the community hours that she needs. If you are open to that. Also, she can jump on our call on Fridays. We have a work call. She's more than welcome to join that space, and I can connect her with someone that's going to be a personal assistant to me to do some stuff for our NAACP branch. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm going to put my number in. And please, I'm asking you, do not share my number with anybody. If anybody needs to get in contact with me, have them to email us. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so yes, so let's make sure to talk this week to see how we can get her connected with some of the things. I know Drew has some things that she needs. I would like to talk with your daughter and kind of get an idea of what she likes and enjoys, and that maybe I can give her some exposure to amplify those areas or exposure to some more other things. The students that I have now, I'm training them how to be community organizers. They will do some canvassing and some phone banking. They will be planning events. They'll be creating social media campaigns and strategies. Also, planning events. We'll have a lot of things. I don't want to take up time now talking about the many things, but I'll put my website information in the chat. And you can look at our website. And basically what we'll do is whatever she does, that she'll do it for our NAACP branch. Okay. I'll
Okay.
give her specific assignments that align with our branch, okay?
Okay, that sounds good.
But you can
Thanks.
check out our website so you can see the things that we do. So what I'll do is I'll connect it in with, because I'm probably gonna have some of my interns doing some work for my branch, for the branch as well, okay?
Okay.
So you all, I'm gonna give myself less than 5 minutes because we're gonna get out on time. So with our political action team, one thing we've been talking about is activating hubs. And again, we have not solidified those places. I have staff that are coming on board with my personal org. I'm going to get them to try to locate us some hub spots within our jurisdiction to do voter registration events on a regular basis. And you all, guess what? I have a drum roll, an announcement to make. The Dallas Mavericks invited several nonprofit organizations throughout the Metroplex for the last few months to do voter registration events, drives during the Mavericks games. And so my organization, C Bates, which stands for Communities Building Attitudes to Encourage Success, was invited to come out. Of course, anything I do, DFW Metro is going to do too. And also our church, social Friendship West Social Justice Ministry had people there. And then also the Omega, I think it's ETA Moo. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but the Omega chapter in the area that has partnered with us in the past, they sent people out. And then Miss Gloria came out representing the AKAs and our political action team here with DFW Metro. So as a result, you all, our combined number of voter registrations, so the other people who've been out there, you all, they had, and also Monica's husband, he was one of our volunteers, and also Mr. Jeff Underwood and Mr. Terry White, they are both brothers of the Omega chapter in the area. They came out as well to help in this effort. But you all, we did such an amazing job. The Mavericks has decided to choose only 3 organizations to continue doing voter registrations at their games. And guess what? Our group was one of them. So we have got to amp up. Yeah. We've got to amp up our video. Yes, absolutely. So we've got to amp up our pool of people that are deputized as BDRs, because you all, we got to hold it down. So we can't just get in there and then get relaxed. So we need to really amp up, because, you know, basketball games, there's a lot of them. So we don't want the people that have been going to get worn out. So I'm asking everybody in our branch and beyond, if you're associated with organizations that have political or civic engagement communities, let us know so we can partner with them and bring them in as well. Gloria will let you know. We get there before the game. We work first and second quarter, and then when the game gets good, third quarter, we go in at halftime, we go in and watch the game. So it was a fabulous opportunity. Dallas County has a training coming up on May the 12th. So if you want to get become deputized, definitely tune into that virtual training. And once you're deputized in one county, you just take your certification to the next county and they acknowledge it. I wanted to mention that. Also, if you all got on the call late, my organization, my personal organization, has been invited to come to DC on Juneteenth weekend. Transportation and room and board is going to be provided. Now, most of those spaces are already filled, but if it's anybody that wants to go, there's going to be a march that Saturday. Let me know as soon as possible so I can put you on that waiting list. And when opportunities come up, you'll get moved on up to go with us on that trip. Miss Gloria, am I missing anything?
Not that I can think of. I just wanted to let you know, one of the things, I'm meeting with the manager, you know, I live in Lantana, but they have a number of various events. And so what I'm going to try and do is ask her if I could do voter registration at all of the events that they have. And so 1, it's easier on me and my body. And then 2, we have constant voter registration going on, and maybe we can get, you know, outside. I was thinking last night that instead of making places to have voter registration, and that's not against the hubs or whatever, but I just thought I can really look in newspapers and everywhere else and see where events are already occurring and see if ask permission to be there to do voter registration. Since it's nonpartisan, it doesn't matter, who we are. It's just what we're doing is very important. And so those are two things. Hopefully we'll be coming up with a lot of dates that we can just do have voter registration. If people can come and help, that'll be great. If they can't, it is what it is. But I think that will help to have a continuous ongoing voter registration in, some of the areas. And then we'll spread out, but, we got to start somewhere. So that's it.
Right. And I agree with that. That's what my org does, because we don't have the manpower capacity or resources to host a lot of events. And so that's what my assistant does, is identifies opportunities where we can go out into the community and participate in something they've already put together. And because we have 5 different cities, if anybody else wants to volunteer time to call some of the other cities, so, because we should be able to, out of 5 cities and 6 with our +1 with Little Elm, we ought to be able to do at least 1 event every week. So, and at least twice a month. And so that would be great. Okay, Dr. Levert, and y'all, let me tell y'all see that grown man walking in the back. Do not go tell folks I got somebody I'm checking with. I know I just look this way, got black don't crack. That is my youngin', okay? So do not go tell anybody. Crystal got a whole man in her house. I'm at my son's home, and that's him walking around in the background. Yes, Dr. Levert.
I just wanted to ask that while the voter registration is going on, people be given information as to how to educate themselves about the candidates or the issues. I think we had discussed League of Women Voters or other resources, and I wonder if that could be handed out at the same time as you're doing the voter registration.
Do you have some information or some literature to disseminate?
Me? No.
Yes.
But if we just had a list of websites or different organizations that help to educate
if you want to
voters.
provide that, just as long as it's nonpartisan, we don't promote any candidates. And again, that's something that really would be discussed amongst the political action team. But if you have literature, again, we don't really have the funds to print anything out. I do know the League of Women Voters back for the primaries, they had voter guides that they were making available if somebody went and picked it up. So you're more than welcome to, if you're able, if you had a capacity or want to ask somebody else to maybe contact them and see will they have any new things. Now, I was just at something and somebody from the League of Women Voters was there. And they only had the one page.
I'm a member. I'll give them a call and I'll get some material. I'm a member of Texas League of Women Voters, so I'll call them and get some material.
Okay, great. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Gloria. I appreciate that.
And your chapters with the Dallas Votes, and there's League of Women Voters on that also.
Okay. So you said, so what about the information? Because I think she's talking about the literature drop stuff.
Yeah, well, they'll have the way they basically do it. They have information for the various elections that may be going on, usually the major elections. But the other side of that, there are information guides that we could go that are non-specific. So I'll see what they have that's like that.
And then we are inviting each and every person on the call. A lot of times we are able to recruit members for our branch and for our different teams. That's why I'm asking everybody to become a BDR so that you all can take out time and come to those events that Gloria is mentioning, because when people come to the table, you can tell them about your particular. You can tell them about your particular committee or team. Definitely, we ask that each and every one of you take out the time to become a VDR. Does anybody else have any comments or questions?
I have an announcement if we have time at the end.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So 2 weeks from today, Monday, May 16th at 9 a.m., people are asking for support for the court hearing for Aaron Dean, the police officer that was being tried for the Tatiana Jefferson murder. And so at 9 a.m., they're having a rally outside of the Tarrant County Courthouse, May 16th, 9 a.m.
Can you post that information on our Facebook page?
Sure.
So you all, this is my handsome young man. You all hear me talk about him. So this is my son, Christopher Dejan. I know his hair is all over. So, but I wanted y'all to see my pride and joy.
How y'all doing?
So that's my Christopher. So yes, definitely share that information on our Facebook page. So let's go ahead. If no other questions or comments, if somebody we want to officially adjourn our meeting. We're 2 minutes late. Somebody want to move the motion?
I move that we adjourn the DFW Metro Joint Team Meeting at 8:02 p.m. Central.
I second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 And all opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all. Wonderful meeting. Okay, y'all take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Monica, had you
Yes.
talked to Kendall?
No,
Okay.
that was news to me.
Yeah, and I was, when I got
Please
ready
stop
to
recording.
say it,
Stop recording.